What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our channel. So much is happening in the office. We are fulfilling all of the mystery box orders from the weekend, making tons of orders from the weekend. Ensley and I are going to the mart tomorrow to shop for fall clothing. And Venny is in Bulgaria on her family trip, so we are down here. And Connor is leaving next week to go on his family trip, so it's kind of crazy here in the office. I'm already printing away names. I got here before 8 a.m. to get going and get moving. I feel like the hardest thing right now has been balance, and I haven't gotten to work out as much as I typically like, so I thought if I came in an hour earlier, I could leave at a normal time to go work out today. So that's my goal. We'll see if it actually happens or not. Also, I am wearing the Charlotte dress. It's super, super cute and comfy, and it's only $26. I'll leave it linked down below. It's from Tails Up Pup. If you missed the memo, we sell clothes now as well. So lots of fun things, and there's lots of bandanas that coordinate with your dog in this as well. Recently, as I've been getting up and doing my makeup and hair, I've been listening to podcasts, which has been really fun and kind of motivation for my day. And some of the ones that I love are Julie Solomon's The Influencer podcast and Jenna Kutcher's podcast called the Gold Digger podcast. And while I was listening to them, they both actually recently put out episodes about how to know when to take your side hustle full time and all of that. So I kind of wanted this vlog to be about that. And I wrote down some questions that maybe you guys are wondering and would be helpful to know. I feel like the hardest thing is if you don't jump full in and do your small business like full time in the beginning. Most people do as a side hustle, and then the hardest thing becomes balancing whatever your full-time job is and your side hustle, and how can you really take that leap, because I'm sure the scariest thing would be quitting your secure traditional job to go do your side hustle and make your side hustle your full-time thing. So if you're dealing with that, hopefully some things that I talk about in here will help you in some form or fashion. I would say for the most part you need to pay your bills, obviously. So if you're young and living with your parents and don't have many bills, then this is like prime time for you. But if you're older and maybe have a house or have a car and have to pay things or they will be taken from you, then that is like your most essential thing in deciding is, will your side hustle be able to pay those bills, and you know, will you be able to survive on that, along with building the business and putting more money back in to grow. So I would say that's probably like the number one thing. But if money is not in the question, then the earlier you can take your side hustle full time, the better, because if you're going to a 9-to-5 job and then just doing your small business at nights or on the weekends, it's going to be extremely hard, especially to build a community. But it is possible, especially with like scheduling apps. You can make people think that you're there in the day by pre-filming things or scheduling posts and letting them come up throughout the day for those people. Most of the time those do cost money, but it would be worth it if you're trying to grow a brand and a business on social media and it's not your full-time thing. So as I was listening to some of those podcasts about this topic, I wrote down some of the questions I have here. One of the questions is, what did Tails Up Pup look like when it was starting out as a side hustle? Now that is a very tricky question, because I don't really know if I would label Tails Up Pup ever being a side hustle. Nick and I had another small business called Dani Nick, where we did small business marketing for other small businesses. So at the same time we were doing both, but for the most part I had a ton of time to put into Tails Up Pup. So I would say that for the most part this wasn't really a side hustle, but what it looked like was balancing the two things, and you know, really putting all of my efforts into Tails Up Pup and getting people who had no idea, because like no one knew who we were, getting those people to get to know not only me and Nick, but get to know our business, what we were making, what we were about, what our brand values were, really portraying that and getting those people who were watching us on the internet to trust us and get to know our product. So really a key is repetition. I know it feels weird as the person like promoting and talking about it, because you're like, I've already talked about it, but so many people don't watch every single thing that you put on. I would guess most people don't watch every single thing that you post, whether that platform doesn't show it to your entire audience, or they just aren't on there every day, or they're not choosing to go and look at your stuff every day. So really promote the things multiple times throughout the week so that they can, if they are seeing it, often they have seen it maybe 3 to 5 times, and then by that 5th time or 3rd time they are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I do want that. So maybe you start off by talking about your dog bandana, and then a little bit each day showcasing different features, so that after they've seen it a few times, then they're like, oh, that is really cool and I do want that. And when they decide that they want that, they come to you, because if you're only promoting it a little bit and someone else is doing the same type of product but promoting it better or more often, then when that person who's watched you and the other business, they decide that they want the product, they might go to someone else for it. So that would be the worst, most heartbreaking thing, is if you work hard, put it out there, that person sees it, but by the time they are ready to swipe their credit card, they go to someone else. You do have to know that people are very conscious about where they spend their money, because money is not easy for a lot of people. People work really hard and they really choose where they're going to spend their money, so it might not be an instant card swipe when they see your thing. So maybe they're waiting to get paid, or maybe they're waiting to decide if it's really worth spending their money on. So you have to help guide them along the way. I like this question a lot. It is, what was the first product that we sold, and is it still around today? And this goes hand in hand. If you watch my Instagram stories, I was talking about this, and on TikTok as well, that over time you can change literally anything in your business. So don't be afraid to start because you feel stuck in whatever you choose right now. I know for us, something that was really scary was changing our prices, but we did it, and honestly, no one said anything. So I think it just comes with, everyone changes their prices and everyone changes things that they're doing over time. But our first product, to answer the question, were dog bandanas. And I know one of the patterns that we sold was the Peace on Earth bandana, which we still sell today. It is currently sold out, but we do still sell that one. It'll probably come back for the holiday season. So that is crazy that something that we launched in the very beginning is still around today, but the product overall is. But just know that you can always, whatever product you start with, you might not sell that in a year from now and you might never go back to it. For us, right now, our mystery boxes are a huge seller, and our #1 product of the year just got taken over into first place by the custom embroidered sweatshirts, which we never, at the beginning of the year, we did not plan on selling those, and now they are our top product of the year. So just know you need to adapt and morph over time, and don't be afraid to make decisions and think that you're locked in for life. I guess the one thing that would keep you locked in for life is if you're buying a ton of inventory, which I would really, really highly recommend not to do, especially in the beginning, because you might be stuck with it and you would have spent all that money on the product and then not be able to sell it. That's if you're buying wholesale products, outsourcing, whatever it may be. I always recommend buying small batches early on, figuring out what works for you and what your customers like, and then you can go from there. That would be a huge tip. The next question is, what indicators led me to believe that, hey, maybe this could be a full-time gig? Now, as I said, Tails Up Pup was never really like that to me, but in general, I will say that you have to find a product that people want or need, and is it different than others that are on the market. I know for us, we were seeing that people were really loving their dogs, and since then it's taken off even more, especially through quarantine and coronavirus. People got dogs and were staying home with their dogs, and it really became their companion through it all. And that's gonna last for a lifetime, especially for that dog's lifetime. So dogs are only going to grow from here, in my opinion. I guess it's not scientifically proven yet, but I do believe that. And you just need to find something that works for you and your business, and what is going to be the thing that makes people realize that they need that product. So for me to realize that this could be a full-time gig, again, goes back to the money, and will the money that's coming in be able to pay those bills? And then how are you going, what goal plan do you have over time that will allow you to adapt over time? The dogs just got here. Good morning. Did you just lick the lens? Good morning. Hi, Grace. And Nicholas. That question got a little bit weird because I got so distracted because everyone was coming in at once. But the next question is, what was it like when we got our first sale? I wish I had it on film because I remember thinking that it was a flawed thing. It wasn't real. That person didn't mean to order from us. The first few people were people who were friends of friends and things like that, but the first stranger, I was like, who is this? How did they find my product? Why did they choose to spend their money on my product? I remember just being like, what even is this and why? And how in all the things. But then quickly after that it grew and it became more normal, and now it's an everyday occurrence. But I just remember feeling that way, which is so weird. And I have one more question, which is, what's something that you look back on and are glad that you did in the beginning? I would say overall the biggest thing is just to start. Like I said, it's super scary to make the leap and just go for it, but that is the number one thing. Also, I always tell people when they're asking me for advice, start a business bank account from the beginning. Do not mix your personal and your business, even if your business is your personal thing. Like if I was starting a business about Danielle and maybe I'm promoting other businesses and clothes and things like that, it still needs to be a business and not your personal. It will become such a headache with taxes and figuring all that out by the end of the year. So just do yourself a favor and do that. Also, just starting out with your business, like a legal business name, that will definitely be worth it in the end as well. It's costs money, but not too much money, so it's worth it for sure. And then, you know, just really believing in yourself and putting in the efforts to learn and to make your business successful. So maybe you can watch YouTube videos, maybe you can pay for a course, find something that will allow you to educate yourself and to grow your business over time. Nicholas, do you have any 2 cents to put in for this video on,
what are we talking about?
like how to take the leap of turning your side hustle into a full-time thing?
Well, you're never gonna feel ready. There's never gonna be a time where like, I'm ready. I mean, if you wait a really long time, you might, yes. I don't think there's no defining moment you actually have to jump. And jumping is scary.
So how do they jump?
Times. Set up a plan and then just do it.
Maybe make some goals in a business plan.
Yeah, I don't think you should jump if you should not jump unless you actually have like some type of roadmap. Just know that that roadmap is gonna change probably very quickly. You should have some plan, and depending on the business, it would be better if you could start making money like while you still have some income coming in.
Oh, that's basically what I said.
Yeah.
Look at that. So if you guys have any other questions about this, leave them in the comments below. We would love to help you. Maybe we'll make a part 2 if there's enough questions.
Yes.
But we hope that this was helpful.
Questions are really good because like they're specific and we can like actually address that specific thing. So I love answering, doing like a Q&A where y'all ask a bunch of questions. So leave them in the comments below. That's the cool thing. We'll definitely make a, follow-up video if you guys leave enough of them.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.